I think Joe's done a really good job. Mm-hmm. He got the job 3 days before training camp, and it was under awful circumstances. And the way he's been able to keep the Celtics steady and command the locker room and hold everybody accountable. I just think he's done a really good job. Now, should he have called a timeout late in Game 4? Absolutely, and he told the players that. And so there are certainly things that he's still learning, and there's nobody better than Erik Spoelstra. And Spoelstra is going to throw out zone defenses. He's going to try every defense in the book. He's going to muck up the game and have Kyle Lowry taking charges and have Kevin Love taking charges and just do whatever he can do. And that's the beauty of this Heat team is they're so annoying to play against. They are so competitive. They have, and I would throw Kyle Lowry into the mix with Jimmy Butler and Erik Spoelstra. They have three of the most competitive guys in the NBA. And it's weird to say that about a coach, but Spoelstra is absolutely in that category. And so, yeah, it's not a fair coaching matchup, but Joe has better players. And so he at least has that to rely on. I think he has more options than Spoelstra does with lineups, and especially the Heat size on the perimeter. I see that as a possible problem for them.
It was made official. They released a statement. Dan Snyder is selling the team. And I promised you guys, it would be a celebration. I have a bottle of champagne.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I have 3 glasses for champagne. Trysta, I know you don't drink champagne, but that's okay.
I'll drink hers.
You're still the homie. We got you here. We can give it to Scotland if we want. It is time, but I forgot to bring goggles. I had it, so I'm going to try this football helmet on to protect my head here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Might get head lice.
Because it's time to open up. I might get head lice on it. Because it's time to open up this bottle of champagne. Because as you can see, I survived the Snyder era.
Well, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Snyder is gone, and the Washington Commanders are going to be run by an actual adult. Can I drink through this? No, I can't.
Yes, you can. You can go over the top.
Yeah.
Like this?
Yes.
Here, just dump it.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pop champagne like you won a championship game.
Yep. That's the way you do it.
This
right
is the greatest day in DC sports history. No. Not the Stanley Cup. Not the World Series. Because if I had said to anybody, what is more likely to happen? The Capitals win a Stanley Cup back in 2018. If I'd asked this question, or Dan Snyder sells the team, nobody would have expected Dan Snyder to ever sell the team. But he was pushed out by great people that were whistleblowers and found all of the...
God bless those whistleblowers.
All of the horrible things he did, and we can now celebrate that Dan Snyder is no longer the Commanders' owner. And Ryan, I know that your adopted team, this is very bubbly. It got a little bubbly. We'll start with that. We'll go with more.
Yeah. It's Monday.
I'll pour some here.
I like to drink on Mondays.
Trysta, I know you will not have any, but that's okay.
We'll just do it. As my mom calls
Oh, no, it's spilling!
a representation.
Who cares? What's that?
My mom calls it a representation.
A representation? Of course, I'm not going to exclude you from this. You're part of the celebration.
Yeah, representation.
Here, we'll just give you that,
there
and then we'll go from there.
And we'll cheers.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am as happy as I have ever been. After 24 years, Dan Snyder is gone. And we have a fresh new outlook.
The music is tremendous.
I'm happy, too.
You know what else we're going to get?
Let's fire the Wizards guy, too, so he can drink again.
Yes!
And then let's can the Nationals guy. I probably shouldn't say that, actually. He joins the Sports Junkies, I know, once a week, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about the owner, or you're talking about Mike Rizzo?
Mike Rizzo.
No, Rizzo we trust.
Okay,
ownership is the problem.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good, then.
I am so ecstatic. Today is it was Friday, one of the greatest days of my life, and I'm glad that I could celebrate this with you. Glad I could celebrate it with both of you.
Cheers, can we cheers?
There you go. Wait, I have to do this because I can't do an empty glass. It's bad luck. I don't need something like Magic Johnson then ruining everything for us. Oh, I'm spilling again. The bosses are going to kill me.
Cheers.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm free.
Cheers. Here, get it over here. There you go.
To the end of the isms.
To the end of Dan Snyder.
To the end of the isms.
And just so I can add this, when they release this statement, they're going to be cheering from the team from far away. Cheer very far away. Nobody ever wants to see you or hear from you again unless you're in court. Thank you, and good night.
I always look all over, just try to find some value. I think that Rahm is crazy because it's 8-1, but I think Rahm is so perfectly suited for this golf course, and he's far enough away from his Masters win that kind of life has gotten back to normal for him. And I just think 8-1 is actually a decent number. I thought for sure he'd be 5.5, maybe 6-1, maybe 6.5 to 1. I think 8-1 is actually a decent price. You could sprinkle in him to win and then a couple of other guys, and still maybe cash at the end of the week.
Yeah, no, and the non-Jokic minutes are always the problem, right? Like, I'm sure you guys heard, the team is plus 12 per 100 possessions when Jokic is on the floor and minus 12 when he's off. The net rating difference between on and off, greatest disparity in the entire NBA. A player like that typically wins an MVP award, but Embiid was able to wind his way into it, and good for him. But in the meantime, the Denver Nuggets, look, Anthony Davis that's very real, and he's an excellent rebounder. And I think one thing is that he can limit some of Jokic's offensive rebounding and his second chance scoring opportunities. So that could be a little bit of a challenge. Certainly, you always worry about the calls when it comes to the Lakers versus Denver. That's the thing that you worry about a little bit, is the whistle going in their favor. Certainly, the NBA would like a LeBron James in the final storyline a hell of a lot more than the little forgotten time zone in Denver, Colorado. But honestly, guys, I'm talking about all this stuff. I think the Nuggets are just better than these guys. I really love Denver in this series. They're a team that's absolutely at the height of their powers right now. I think there's no doubt about that. It's one of the things that we always talk about is they've never been to an NBA Finals. Like, there is not a winning tradition here in Denver. People see a Lakers logo in the purple and gold. They see all those banners, and they automatically want to lean in that direction. I get all that. Also, LeBron James is on the other side, and the guy has got 4 rings. They just dispatched Kevin Durant in the last round. That guy has been in the NBA Finals and done a bunch of things and won championships before. Like, Denver does not have that sort of tradition. What's so frustrating for a lot of us in this town is that, this team went to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble. Maybe they were arriving a little bit early, but the very next season they made the trade to get Aaron Gordon, and I think they played 12 games together. And if you go back and look at that, and look, I know that's a small sample size, but they were great. And, right away we were like, oh, they can win an NBA championship. Then Jamal Murray tears his ACL. Then Michael Porter Jr. runs into more injury issues. And so, everything was put on pause for a couple of years. But, guys, I'm telling you, if Jamal Murray doesn't suffer that injury, they might have already won an NBA championship, and the narrative could be different. This is something we've been waiting to arrive at. But, no, you're absolutely right about that. There's just how many people bought the Milwaukee Bucks before they went and won an NBA championship? You have to go and do it. Denver's never done it before. It's a part of why they don't attract big-name free agents. Like, if you look at the construction of this team, Jokic is a second-round pick. Jamal Murray went number 7 overall. Michael Porter Jr. number 14 overall. They had to swing and trade with Orlando to get Aaron Gordon. This was not assembled in any sort of, sweepstakes, sexy, off-season barrage or anything like that. This has been slowly built up over time, and the NBA just really doesn't do that very often anymore. And so there's a lot of reasons why the Nuggets are quote-unquote off the radar, but you guys have watched them play. You see how good they are. They can absolutely win a title right now.
You're not even a liability to your organization. You're a liability to the entire league. Because multiple owners have called Adam Silver and said, this affects our bottom line too. This isn't just a Memphis Grizzlies issue. We sell a lot of tickets for kids who want to go see Ja Morant. We can't have him, destroying the image of our league. And whether that's his Second Amendment right or not, it's conduct detrimental to the league. And Adam Silver, as we know, he gave Ja a slap on the wrist. It was basically a 2-game suspension.
Right.
And so he had Ja in his office and said, listen, no more of this. I'm going to give you a slap on the wrist so that you can play in the playoffs because we all need this.
Yeah.
We need it. You need it. Everyone needs this. But this can be the last. We've been investigating you for over a year, but based on multiple gun incidents already.
There's more before the first Instagram one.
So, you got to stop with guns. And Ja promised that he would never have this happen again, and here he is. So now if you're Adam Silver, you kind of have to put the smack down on him, and so that you're not soft and that other people realize, I'm going to make an example out of him.
And go
past the point where the Grizzlies are even going to be a team that could be ascending? Did they already peak, and is this going to just
What are they going to look like? Dylan Brooks is going to be gone?
You've got Dylan Brooks, who you know is not going to be there. There's drama around this team to begin with, and now your best player can't get out of his own way. There's a certain point where you maybe look at this Grizzlies team and go, maybe we've seen the best of them already. They're really, I mean, there is a lot of immaturity there. They need some veterans in that organization this offseason quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I do think that there's a possibility they've peaked. I think what we're seeing, I mean, Jaw's going to be out. Ja could be out. There's people who think that Ja, and they're lobbying for Ja to be out the entire season.
Yeah, I saw that. What is the suspension going to look
Scott, how
like?
long was Gilbert Arenas'? That was in the locker
games.
room. Yeah. That was 50 games,
But that
right?
was a light, but that was like a light suspension,
Right.
they said.
Right.
1 year. No, he got a whole year.
Oh, he got a
remember?
whole
Yeah, it was a
year,
whole
yeah.
year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and without pay. And that's what I'm saying, like without pay, too.
Yeah.
That's $40 million.
I know you've made some money, right? And Ja lost money last year with the All-NBA voter or whatever the hell it ended up being.
$40 million.
Yeah, $40 million.
That's why I don't think there's any chance they move him, because a team is going to buy low on him if that's the case. And if you're going to move Ja Morant, this is the worst time to do it.
No, I think that's right, Scott. Although I do think that the Nuggets have like a ton of talent. They've got a lot of depth, all that. I think when you talk about like star power that you can consistently rely on, what Tatum has done in the last 1.5 games, one and a quarter games, like he is now grooving. Jaylen Brown has been grooving, and like Marcus Smart has had an incredible postseason. When you look at Jamal Murray, outside of Jokic, Jamal Murray's been all over the place, like very up and down. Yes, they're getting a lot from their role players, but I think Boston's a team to beat because they just have more guys that can get you 40 on a given night. And I just think that they have more pure talent and roster flexibility.
I lean experience here too, and the Celtics have that experience going to the finals. That makes a difference. We've seen that, and we've watched how difficult it is for teams that haven't had a lot of playoff experience flame out in 6 or 7 games and fold under the pressure as things go on. And that's why I had the belief in the Warriors, because I was like, you can poke holes in any one of these teams. The Warriors may be able to put that together. But I'm with you. I agree. I think it's still the Celtics.
Yeah, experience, like you said. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they've been doing this since Jason Tatum was 19 years old. They're really good defensively, which you want in the playoffs.
I thought Tatum was still 19. Isn't he just always 19?
Yeah, he'll be 19 forever. They got guys that could close. And also, I feel like they have the easier road, right? Because Denver's going to have to go through the Lakers. Let's not count out LeBron. Let's not count out AD, who's probably the best defensive player left in the playoffs here. But I would agree it's Boston because they have unfinished business. And obviously, experience matters. They got there last year and didn't get it done.